What's up, America? This is Kim with Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about how to train from home on a budget. So let's get started. If you're like most people, we're all busy and we don't get out to the range as much as we like. So I'm going to give you guys some ways to train from home for free or for a very affordable cost. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to dry fire practice. And there's a lot of myths that it's going to hurt your gun. But the majority of guns can be dry fired safely. There are some guns you want to avoid dry fire practice with, and that includes some 22s. The Smith & Wesson EZ and the Hellcat recommend that you use snap caps with them. And if you're unsure, check your user manual. But if you use snap caps, you can dry fire any gun, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. If your gun does not require snap caps, I'm going to show you how to dry fire practice with just your gun. And what's most important is safety. So first and foremost, you want to clear your gun, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second here. And also, we want to go in a room where there's no live ammo. This is not something we do with live ammo in the room. To clear the gun, you're going to want to first of all release the magazine, and then we're going to press up on the slide lock, slide release lever here. Continuously hold it up as we pull the slide back until it locks into place. And you can also see that there's no magazine. So you want to check to make sure there's no magazine, and also visually and then tactically check the chamber. Now that I know that the gun is clear and safe, I can begin dry fire. Depending on where you're at with training, one thing I often tell new shooters who are just getting used to getting that good grip is to have a table or something to lay it down on. And what you want to do is make sure that the grip is facing towards your strong hand so that when you go to grab it, you can keep your finger safely up here. If we had it the other way, then I have to do the scoopy thing, and you don't want to accidentally put your finger in the trigger guard. And by laying it on the table and having to pick it up each time, you get used to getting that grip quicker and quicker until you're able to get it without much thought. Once you've mastered that, you can also just start off with it in the compressed position, bringing it out, finding that front sight, pressing that trigger nice and smooth. What we're looking for is making sure that there's no movement when we're pressing that trigger. After you press the trigger once, the trigger will be dead. So we need to reset the trigger. A lot of people will just rack it the way they normally do it, but what we suggest is doing a press check method. So we're going to show you how to do that. Most important, notice my finger is off the trigger and it's resting up here on the frame. I'm going to bring my other hand up here, and I'm just going to bring back the slide just a little bit just to reset the trigger. And now we can press the trigger again. So let's see the whole process all together. So I go out, I find that front sight, I press the trigger without moving, put my finger back up here, do a press check to reset it, and I can find that front sight again, press the trigger without moving. The reason why we don't rack it like we normally do is we're going to have a different process for when we're dry fire practicing. A lot of students, if they do a lot of dry fire practice at home, will then associate every time that they press the trigger, they need to rack the gun, and they'll actually do it live fire. So we want to have a deliberate movement that's different when we're dry fire practicing. That was dry fire practicing with just your gun. So now let's talk about snap caps. Maybe you have an EZ or a Hellcat or a gun that requires them, or you just want a different way to train, because these do provide some different training options. These are very affordable. They don't make any sound. There's no lead. We really like this brand, A-Zoom, and the reason why is I like that they're a different color than an actual round. I don't want to look in the chamber and see brass or silver, something that could be associated with a real round. I also like them because they're metal. They have cheaper plastic ones, but they get eaten up pretty quickly. To use these, you load them up just like you would do a normal round. Load up our magazine with our snap caps. We're going to insert them into our gun. We're going to rack one in, and now we go out, find that front sight, press the trigger without moving. With the snap caps, as you can see, there's no sound, nothing comes out, so we do have to eject that one out. So then we would rack them out and then do the next one. You have a fun game of picking them up off the ground. Even if your gun doesn't require snap caps, one of the really good advantages of using these is you can practice some malfunction drills from home. So when you go to present out, you're going to get a click instead of a bang, so you can practice how to clear malfunctions. We don't usually like to get too into pricing because things change, but the snap caps run the A-Zoom about $15, but they last forever unless you lose them like we do. So they're very affordable and you can use them over and over again. Another product we're going to look at that's pretty affordable is the dry fire mag, and so it allows you to dry fire practice without having to reset the trigger each time. It's not perfect to your actual trigger, but it's pretty close, and they actually come with springs. So you can adjust it if you want. You can buy those packages to adjust it. So let's show you how this works. So it's a little different inserting it because that's an extra piece. We're going to insert it in there. And your first trigger pull is going to be just like a normal dry fire trigger pull. And then the follow-ups, it's reset the trigger. So those are some free and affordable ways to dry fire practice from home. There are also other products out there that are laser systems that are more expensive, like the Mantis and the Strikeman, which are great training tools. If you want to start dry fire practicing and you're looking for some affordable ways to do it, that's how you do it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a like, a thumbs up, a share, a comment. We always love to hear from you guys. If you haven't already subscribed here on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Patreon, and we're on Rumble too. And until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And what's most important is safety. Oh, sorry. Oh, I choked on my own spit. When you're dry firing practice, I can't talk.